Most people think wealth is loud, flashy cars, designer clothes, expensive vacations. But real wealth is a lot quieter. In fact, the people actually getting rich often don't feel rich at all. If you're wondering whether you're on track or not, here are 8 subtle signs you're secretly getting rich even if it doesn't feel like it yet. Sign number 1: you buy less to impress. There was a version of you, maybe not that long ago, who bought things for an audience. New sneakers before a night out, a phone upgrade you didn't need, an outfit worn once and never touched again. Not because you actually wanted those things, because of how they'd make you look. Nobody teaches you to question that habit, so most people never do. But something shifted in you. Quietly, the performing stopped. The truth most people never say out loud: people genuinely building wealth are almost invisible about what they own. No announcements, nothing gets posted. A plain car, a simple watch, and the money quietly going somewhere it can't be seen. Here's what makes this even more interesting. The audience you were buying for, they're really never watching you. Everyone is too focused on managing their own image to notice yours. That's not a sad thought. It's a freeing one. Every dollar that used to go towards impressing someone who wasn't paying attention is now available for something real. Status spending is the single biggest invisible leak in most people's financial lives. People talk about saving and investing, but rarely about this. The money that used to fund your image has nowhere to go but your future. That shift, as quiet and unsexy as it feels, is everything. Sign number 2: you think before you buy. Here's something that doesn't sound like a big deal, but quietly, it's one of the clearest signs you're changing. You pause before you buy now. A beat, a question, a small moment of friction that wasn't there before. Most people feel zero resistance before spending money. They see it, want it, click it, done. But something in your brain has built a speed bump all by itself, without you forcing it. That's discipline turning into instinct. The question has started doing real work in your head. How many hours of my life is this actually worth? Think about it. At whatever you earn per hour, translate that price into time, not just dollars. Suddenly, that impulse doesn't just look the same. $100 thing becomes 3 or 4 hours of your life. Real in a way a price tag never quite manages to make it. Something else has become visible to you as well. The excitement before buying something is almost always bigger than the satisfaction after. It arrives at your door, you open it, and feel fine. Not better, not transformed, just fine. Life continues exactly as before. You've felt that emptiness enough times now that the pattern is impossible to ignore. Once you can see it clearly, the thrill loses its grip. Here's the thing. That pause isn't you holding yourself back. It's you getting better at knowing what's actually worth your life. Sign number 3. You think in years, not weeks. Ask most people what they're optimizing their money for. And if they're honest, the answer is this week, the next paycheck, maybe the end of the month. Not because they're irresponsible, just because that's how most humans' brains are naturally wired. Short-term reward is loud and immediate. Long-term reward is almost completely silent. Your default question has changed, though. It's no longer just, can I afford this? The real question has become, where does this put me in 3 to 5 years? That one shift in the question you ask yourself before every financial decision is worth more than any single investment you'll ever make. Warren Buffett once said something that sounds almost too simple. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Sit with that. The person planting that tree gets nothing right away. No shade, no fruit, no visible return. Nothing impressive is happening above ground for a long time. But underground, the roots go deeper every single season. And the person who keeps planting anyway eventually has shade. Everyone else is still standing in the sun. Real wealth building looks exactly like that. Boring on the outside, invisible progress. Nobody cheering in the early years because nothing dramatic has happened yet. And honestly, the patience that used to feel like sacrifice has started feeling like strategy. That's genuinely rare. And you've already made that shift. Sign number 4. You view money as employees, not trophies. Here's the mental shift that changes the entire game, and most people never make. Growing up, money felt like something to collect and display. The more you had sitting nearby, the more successful you appeared. That's how almost everyone thinks about money their whole lives, and it sounds completely logical, but it's wrong. Every dollar you own is actually a worker. Some of your workers are busy right now, sitting in investments, quietly growing, building something while you sleep. Others sit completely idle, earning nothing, doing nothing, just waiting. A wealthy person looks at idle money and feels genuinely uncomfortable, not out of greed, out of understanding what wasted potential looks like when it's invisible. Robert Kiyosaki laid this out plainly in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a book that has quietly changed how millions of people think about money. His core idea is simple. Rich people buy assets, things that put money into your pocket over time. Expenses take money out. Most people spend their entire lives buying expenses and calling it building a life. You've started to feel that shift. A paycheck no longer feels like the destination. It feels like raw material. The question isn't, what can I spend this on? Now it's, where does this go next, and what will it become? That's not just a mindset. That's the actual engine of wealth, and it's already running in your head. Sign number 5. You know your numbers. Here's a question, and be completely honest with yourself. Right now, do you know your actual net worth? Not your salary. Forget what's sitting in your checking account today. Your real number. Everything you own, minus everything you own. Most people genuinely have no idea. Financial education research consistently shows that a large majority of adults can name their monthly income but can't accurately state their net worth. They know their paycheck, but they don't know their actual score. Imagine trying to get healthier without ever once stepping on a scale. You'd feel lighter some days, heavier on others, but you'd never actually know where you stand. That's exactly what most people do with their money their whole lives. Feeling rich after payday, feeling broke by the 20th, and never knowing the true number underneath it all. You track yours, maybe not perfectly, not every single dollar, but consistently enough to know what comes in, what goes out, and what you're actually building over time. Your number is moving in the right direction, even when it moves slowly. Here's what changes when you start watching closely. The scoreboard stops being scary. Early on, looking at your finances feels like opening a letter you've been avoiding for months. Now it's different. The number motivates you. Awareness has turned from something that felt like dread into something that feels like fuel. That shift from fear to focus is a real sign of something bigger. Sign number 6. You have financial breathing room. Picture this. It's a regular Tuesday morning. Your car makes a sound it's never made before. You take it in. The mechanic says $800. And instead of that cold, tight feeling in your chest, that panic, the mental math of which bill to delay, you just said, okay, I'll handle it, and move on with your day. That quiet okay is bigger than it sounds. According to Bankrate, nearly 57% of Americans couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency from their savings without borrowing money or selling something. More than half the people around you are one unexpected bill away from a real financial spiral. You're not. And that difference changes more than just how you handle emergencies. Look, here's what nobody talks about enough. Desperation makes every financial decision worse. When you're financially squeezed, you take jobs you should walk away from. You accept bad deals because you can't afford to wait for better ones. Debt becomes something you carry just to survive the month. The cushion doesn't only protect you from emergencies. It protects you from fear-based choices that quietly cost you far more in the long run. Better options only stay available when you have the time to choose them. There's a gap now between what you earn and what you're forced to spend. That gap is where wealth gets built. The fact that you're no longer making decisions from a place of scarcity, that is the sign. Sign number 7, you're building, not just earning. Here's a myth worth destroying right now. A high salary doesn't make you rich. Never has. And once you truly understand why, you stop chasing the paycheck and start building the thing behind it. Every dollar you earn from jobs stops the moment you stop working. Rest, it stops. Get sick, it stops. Retire, it stops. That's called active income. Your time traded directly for money. There's a ceiling on it because there are only 24 hours in a day and only so many of them can be sold. But you've started building something different. Maybe it's a small investing account growing quietly in the background, a side skill that occasionally pays you, one dividend showing up once a quarter, small right now, but real. And honestly, the size doesn't matter yet. What matters is the identity. You've stopped being only an earner. Building is what you're becoming. Morgan Housel wrote something in The Psychology of Money that gets truer the more you think about it. Wealth is what you don't see. It's the assets quietly growing, the options accumulating, the decisions compounding in the background over years you can't even picture yet. You're building something most people around you won't notice until it's already large. Right now, they're still only earning. You've already started doing something different. And that difference, even when it feels small today, is the whole game. Sign number 8. Your net worth is growing even when you're not working. This is the sign that changes everything. And most people spend their entire lives never reaching it. On a Saturday morning while you're asleep, something in your financial world is growing. An investment is moving. Compound interest, which basically means your money earns more, and then that new money starts earning more on top of itself, is quietly stacking up without any help from you. Time is doing work you're not even awake to see. Most people spend their whole lives in one financial equation. Work, earn, stop, earning stops. Their income and their effort are permanently tied together. But you've started crossing into different territory, where your money is working alongside you. Not just your hours. Your dollars are pulling their own weight, doing their own part, separate from anything you do in a single day. Here's the most powerful thing about this sign. Time used to be your enemy. Every year you didn't invest, every year you delayed, you fell a little further behind. The cost of waiting compounded, just like the benefit of starting does. But now that you've begun, time has switched sides. Every year that passes, your money has been alive longer. The compounding runs deeper. Your position quietly strengthens without you doing anything dramatic. That inversion, from time being the enemy to time being the engine, is the moment that everything changes. And you're already in it. These were the 8 signs which show you you're on track. But if you don't have similar traits, then don't worry. I made a video. If you only watch that one video, then you don't need to watch another money video ever. The knowledge is there enough to make you super wealthy. Click up here